I am so goddamn proud of this team, and it's a fucking privilege being the captain.
Man, the Kickin Cobras, we didn't just get involved, we were birthed.
The future of the Kobras is unstoppable.
The Kobras have always been good. The Kobras will always be good.
Kobras on 3, beers on 6. 1, 2, 3.
For those of you who enjoyed playing kickball as a kid, you can relive all those great moments because there now is a kickball league for adults.
Now, we've all played kickball at least once in our lives, and usually that's in elementary school, but that same game has transformed into an adult phenomenon.
So the history of kickball was invented by a man, Nicholas Seuss, in Cincinnati, Ohio, not very far away from us, in 1917. Who would have known that 100 years later, his sport would become so popular and that we'd be dominating the whole thing.
When it rains, it pours. There will be blood in the water, cold to the core.
Excuse me one second, my fault. No, tell Kellogg's I need at least 2 million. Yeah, if I'm gonna endorse them, I need at least 2 million for sure. All right, yeah, I'm in an interview right now though. I'm gonna call you back though. Yeah, it's not gonna work that way.
Off with your heads.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you back though. I'm in the interview. All right. Hey, can you take this, manager? Yeah, they blow my shit up. All right, my bad. Sorry about that. What were you saying?
I feel like I was always on the Kickin Cobras, you know, from birth. It wasn't really a moment that I joined. It was more so the moment that we formed. That was really a beautiful time in my life, just knowing full well that we were just going to dominate from then on out.
I remember being on a team, Cirque du Soleil Legs. This was in 2019. We got baptized in our first game, 22-2. And I remember being at the bar afterwards, and I chatted with one of the other teams, and I was just like, hey, if y'all need anyone next year, I'm your guy. And they were like, oh no, we're full. And they were giving the ring around. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start my own team. And I was talking to one of the refs from that league, and I was like, I think we're gonna run it next year. We're gonna win the whole thing. And he laughed in my face. And so I was like, all right, this is the moment. This is the birth. And ever since then, we've never even come close to that 22-2 score line.
I think I joined the Kickin Cobras when the gravity of the large women that were on the team before drew me into the team.
I had just started dating Petey, and he was going on and on talking about this kickball team that he was gonna be playing on, and he was so excited, but they needed girls. And I do not have an athletic background, but he insisted that I would be fine because it was better than taking the outs. And then the first season that I played, I was injured, so I had to sit out for like half of the first season. So I brought my camera and I just started taking videos and put together these fun little highlight reels. I started the Instagram account. Now I do both. I bring my camera to every game and I play.
I joined the Kickin Cobras just because I've been with Kitty for a long, long time. So if you're part of the team, you're part of the team, and that doesn't matter what team it is. You know, no matter what it is, what name it has, I'm there. I'm playing hard.
Man, the Kickin Cobras, we didn't just get involved, we were birthed, honestly. We first started off as a some terrible ass, shitty ass kickball team. We were awful. We went to the Trash Bowl championship, got to second place and lost. And then Keedy looked at me and said, hey Matt, we gotta do this better. And so we got all new recruits, 5 stars, and we changed the name. And we felt that the strike first, strike hard, no mercy mentality just showed in our kickball skills. And that's how the Kickin Cobras were born.
But legends never die.
breaking news, a new team joins Lexington Social and Sports after appearing in 2 championships with the league.
Well, before we joined Lex Social, we were participating in the league against some fairly competitive teams, and we made it all the way to the championship game against Ted's team and had it in the bag, and before we knew it, everything had fallen apart.
Okay, that game. So we're in the last inning of a championship match, and we are up by 1.
There was a play where I had made it to second, and the shortstop had the ball. She tried to return the ball to the pitcher and overthrew him.
They are throwing it back to the pitcher. It goes over the pitcher's head. Paul takes off, goes to third base. The rule is, pitcher doesn't have the ball, it's a free ball, you can run.
And since the ball was still live and had not been ruled dead, I took off towards third base, and their pitcher, knowing that the ball was still live, threw the ball to third base.
So he didn't have the ball clearly, so he runs, and he even tries to make a play, throwing it to third base. Paul's safe. And then the ref, who is, should I note, being paid by one of the guys on the other team.
The ref stepped in and told me I had to go back to second base because the ball was intended to be caught by the pitcher.
You go first, he goes back to second. That was just intention to go. Come on, Paul. What? Did you say it was his intention to go to the pitcher and he missed it? They all got it. That's what I thought.
He says that no, it was his intention to get the ball to the pitcher, which is not a rule, never has been a rule.
On the play following the intent call, I made a dash towards third base after someone on our team had kicked it right down the third baseline, and had the intent call not gone the way it did, I would have been on third base, taken off towards home. We secure the championship, game over, but got out. We had several calls that didn't go our way. They ended up forcing an overtime where they were already familiar with a rule set we did not know about. So we fell short.
So if the rules are going to change in the championship game in the last inning, then I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, I feel like that is textbook cheating right there, but.
That's what I'm talking about.
That was by far the greatest kickball game I've ever seen, okay? I'm talking about better than Jordan Game 7, better than everything, bro. I don't know who played baseball, better than that. All right, we love that. We gonna come tomorrow, not tomorrow, next Tuesday. Same energy, same vibes, all right?
Kobras on 3, beers on 6.
1, 2, 3. Got 6 beers!
The Kickin Kobras, led by Captain Chris Kickin, are ready to kick the competition and take this new league by storm the only way they know how. Strike first, strike hard, and show no mercy.
The strike first, strike hard, no mercy mentality of our team is that we always kick first whenever possible. Because we want to strike first, we want to put up the points on them, and we want to be like, hey, try to come back and beat us. And guess what? They don't. And as for striking hard, we've had people slide into the base so hard that they've taken people out. We've had people slide into home and made a guy so mad that he quit and got thrown out of the game because he was throwing such a fit about it. And I was like, yo, it's good for us. You know, it's just our strike hard mentality. And we've had people drill people in the face. And she was still out because she was sliding. I was like, hey, that's an awesome rule. Like, okay. And the no mercy, we do whatever it takes to win. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory, but like we really embody that. I feel like people can say that all they want, but we really do show no mercy out there. We take no prisoners. We do whatever it takes to win every single game.
Trying to mercy rule everybody every inning was a lot of fun because that just means more at bats, like more, I don't know, just more fun when you're like just killing teams. So.
If I was to bring up a game from past seasons, it would be the winter when we had a doubleheader playing Dolls and Balls in the season, which we would end up playing in the semifinals. And they were playing pretty well, but our defense was just incredible that game. And there's this one play specifically where it beat everyone into the right field, and it went past our right fielder at the time, and Preston ran all the way behind, like he's the first baseman, went all the way deep into right field, punted that shit out from right field, and then I caught it like right behind the pitcher's mound, and this guy's rounding third, about to get what he thought was easy home run, and I just caught it off of the catch, just threw it off the catch, and it just beamed this guy right before the home plate, and it was just such a moment, and that saved a run. And we ended up winning the 6-4, but we all just really dug down deep defensively that game, and it was great because from then on, I think we ended up winning every game from that moment, but we weren't the best team. We had already lost twice, so I think that was really kind of a changing point in our team.
We've had a lot of great games.
I think Preston's Grand Slam in the Winter Championship sealed off any hope they had to come back, and it was just such a moment. And he even called a shot beforehand. He just told Morgan was on first base. He was just like, yo, because I was first base coach, she's like, yo, just run. And I was like, all right, Morgan, go.
That was the greatest kickball game of all time right there. Y'all went 9-0. Y'all didn't let a single score happen. Not a single score. Y'all could have gave them one for free, but y'all was like, no, that's ours. Y'all got 9-0. That shit right there, Preston, that was Michael Jordan kick right there. For real, Michael Jordan shit. Y'all played a great game. All right, everybody here's a real Cobra. Y'all struck hard. Y'all struck first. Y'all showed no doubt. See, that's a fact.
This season would have been possible without
Some of the struggles, being too awesome was definitely something that we ran into a lot. Too much awesomeness kind of fucked us up in the head sometimes, got us a little bit of ego. Some of the Cobras, let's just say they shed their skin and we saw what they were really like, and we had to drop them. I ain't gonna lie, you know? I'm like LeBron James, I ain't mad at a trade, you know? It ain't nothing to trade your ass. So we had to do a couple trades, get the right team on there, but once we got the right team, the challenges, they all faded away.
As far as struggles go for the team, I feel like the biggest one was ironing out what no mercy meant to all of us, because some people wanted to show a lot of mercy and some people wouldn't show any mercy.
When you kind of have an embarrassment of riches, I have 12 people that are incredible at kickball, and so the 4 girls, they're pretty much solid in their positions, but 8 guys trying to put into 6 positions every single week is just a bitch, because you feel like you're just screwing over 2 of the guys because they can interchangeably do anything. So I think that was hard to do, but the guys were great at, you know, just being like, no, I can sit this one out, or no, you could come in for me. And
finding a solid strategy for fielding 24/7 consistently, and also just getting our strategy batting wise down. I feel like we also really got all of our gears in order when it came to getting the lineup together and having everybody figure out who they're after and who's before them, and everybody kind of really solidified that relationship with each other and made some great kicks, made some great plays out there. You know, made a lot of good combo kicks and base running out there and setting up and baiting for each other, which is what we love to see out there.
I think our number one struggle was punctuality, for sure. A little bit of alcohol involved, and once we got those two problems taken care of, everything came together.
We don't have struggles.
Can you talk in detail about a specific game from this season?
No, I don't remember any of them. I was at least .20 BAC during every single time that we played.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Well, I'm gone. Can I kick it? To all the people who can quest like a tribe does. Before this, did you really know what I was? Comprehend to the track force, why? Cause getting mentions on the tip of the vibe buzz. Rock and roll to the beat of the funk fuzz. Wipe your feet really good on the rhythm rug. If you feel the urge to freak, do the jitterbug. Come and spread your arms if you really need a hug. Afrocentric living is a big shrug. A life filled with, that's what I love. A lower plateau is what we're above. If you diss us, we won't even think of. We'll nipper the dog and give a big shove. This rhythm really fits like a snug glove. Like a box of positives, it's a plus love. As the trial flies high like a dove.
I think my best catch ever was we were playing the red team kickheads, and I had that one where I laid out for it, and I got it like right before it scraped the ground. I had to do a barrel roll, and my neck was hurting like so bad the next day. I didn't give a shit though. I was just so happy I caught that ball. We shut them out, and yeah, it was a great game.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. 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 Well, I'm going. Go on, then. Can I kick it?
Probably the game that me and Keedy hugged at the end of. That one really felt like we were getting it together and we'd finally kind of figured it out.
In the spring 2021 season, following their first championship win, the team fell short by failing to make it past balls deep in the semifinal matchup.
Our biggest weakness is that, honestly, they don't give us enough games to play. We're killing too much, you know. It's not fair. You know, we got too many games we want to dominate, and they're just not giving it to us, and it makes us mad. We want more, and we want the best of the best. So if you think you did a kickball championship, come down to Lexington, Kentucky, and come find the Kickin Kobras, and let's see what's really good.
Oh man, we really don't have any weaknesses. Like, I truly don't believe we have any weakness.
We are such a well-oiled machine now. We've worked out so many of our kinks. I don't think we really have a weakness.
The team's biggest weakness is that we could get cocky. I think everybody's pretty well confident. And you know what, I think at the end of the day, everybody was just trying to have a good time, but.
Ooh.
team's greatest weakness, I would say is that, and I'm not helping out with this part, but I think is that we're too confident. We're going to be too confident going into this season. I think any team can lose if certain things break right.
There's nothing else that people can do. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a good base runner, it doesn't matter if you're a good baseball player, mentally, it doesn't matter any of that. As long as we can keep you from getting on base, you can't do anything in the game. So that's all it takes.
1, 2, 3, Kobras!
Just the heated arguments that we get into on the field. I love the energy. You know, I might not seem like the most heated out there when it comes to that scenario and stuff, but I definitely love the energy out there.
Kobras on 3, 1, 2, 3,
Kobras! In summer 2021, the Kobras made it to the playoffs yet again, but lost in a heartbreaking fashion in the semifinals, losing 6-5 against the Kickheads. They look unstoppable defensively, but they seem to be missing some big kickers. We spoke with Captain Chris Kickin following the loss, who said big changes would be coming soon to the lineup.
Some struggles we faced leading up to the undefeated season was we had some holes to fill. I would say there was what I thought was our biggest hole was we didn't have someone who could really send it deep besides obviously Preston. And so I was just really looking for that guy, that Bambino that can just get it out there, and that's what I think that we found in Matt and Taylor. And so I was just looking for one, but I love having two. And now that we have three people that can just send it anywhere they want on the field, and that is such a luxury to have.
Oh man, Kitty has a way of recruiting people.
First of all, I think that's probably my favorite part about this whole thing, besides the actual games themselves. Because recruiting is just, like, I definitely love going out of my way for that. Like, there's this one time, I got a Bumble account, and I put in my description, just looking for a competitive girl, and that actually worked. We got Karen, and she was wonderful for a couple seasons for us.
So my story is a little bit different than most. So I've only lived here for about 3 years, and when I came here, I was just sort of looking for something to do. I played soccer for most of my life, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna join like a social league in Lexington. Yeah, whatever. So joined as a free agent. I was playing on this team, and the funniest part about this whole story is that like I didn't know anybody on that team. So we were just like a bunch of free agents. We'd actually had like an amazing season. We were like undefeated, and we lost in the playoffs. So we were playing in some other bracket, and nobody showed up on our team. So we played Kitty's team, and only 4 people on our team showed up for our soccer game. It was 4-on-7, and it was like me and like 3 other like really good guys, but we like are all out of shape, out of college, like not really working out, and ended up winning that game. But what was so crazy is that I don't know, we were waiting there for like 15 minutes, and this guy comes walking up to all 4 of us and is like, anybody want to play kickball? And we're like, yeah, absolutely.
I joined the soccer league, and there's these 2 guys that were on a team of 4, just absolutely tuned us up, and we had a full squad of 7, and I was like, how the hell did we just get beat by 4 people? And so I remember driving away and then being like, yo, I gotta go like ask them. And so I did a U-turn, came back, and talked to these 2 guys about potentially joining our kickball team, and they would become known as Matt Lyon and Taylor Bolin, and they would become 2 of the players on our perfect team.
He's like, we have an Instagram. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Kitty made it his goal to find the dream team. And I think this season he definitely found it.
It's a cruel summer. Leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel summer. Leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel summer. Now you're gone. You're not the only
Listen, I want to see an undefeated season this season, all right? We ain't losing not a single game. Straight to the championship. And if that happens, I'm taking everybody out and I'm buying everybody drinks all night. It's all on me. Let's go.
Yo, Cobras on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Kobras! The legends never die.
We don't have any weaknesses, so how could we have any strengths? Like, it's all strengths.
I think our greatest strength is our elite base running.
The greatest strength, me for sure. I really think that greatness isn't given; it's just born in you, and that's part of it. I also think one of our greatest strengths is that we don't, we're showing no mercy. We came to play. We don't give a fuck about your feelings. We don't give a fuck about none of that other shit. We only care about winning. We're not here to be nobody's friends. Y'all can be buddy-buddy on that side. Over here, we want that championship trophy, you know? Or in this case, this season, you know, the medal, something like.
I don't know, I think everybody's just like pretty athletic. Everybody has come from like really different backgrounds, so you don't have necessarily like all soccer players or anything like that, but like everybody has different strengths to where like I don't think we ever really faced a team until maybe like the second to last game that like was even close to beating us, so.
I think our biggest strength is the fact that we have an identity as a team. I think having an identity makes everybody feel dedicated, and I think that makes everybody feel like such a part of something. And I think that kind of motivates them to give it their all every time because, you know, they've become such an integral part of a team and they don't want to let other people down. They don't want to let their teammates down, and so they have to give it their all every time.
High octane offense. I think we put up over 100 points throughout this whole season, and second place probably had 60.
Team's biggest strength, I would say, is we have the ability to pour it on. And when I say that, I mean the other teams in our years past, we could always score in certain amounts and we could always rely on our defense and everything, but this specific season, every single lineup that we have, every single, like, whoever's up to bat, we always have the ability to get on base and then to score and keep scoring after that, like no matter who's leading off for us. And that is just such an asset that we did not have previously. And that's why we were able to hang 7 on them like at any random time, because we're just like a locomotive that's just ready to break off.
The team's biggest strength is definitely our captain. Definitely Kickin. I mean, like, if anybody's gonna fight for us out there, whether it's a good or bad call, it's Kickin. I mean, he's not gonna give up on us. I would say it's Kickin and what he's put together for the team. It's an incredible thing. I mean, he's really pulled the impossible out of the hat here with this one. I mean, we are a sports-driven team and brand, but I didn't know it would get this far as undefeated.
We just win. We win all the time, and we win in incredible fashion. We had several games this season where we blew teams out by 20 points on average, and I think that is a really fun way to play the game.
My favorite part about being a Cobra is that everyone has bought in and can get behind the way we do things and the way that we play. And you know, there's certain teams people can be on where like, oh, it's okay if we win, lose, all that stuff, and we just kind of put that bullshit way behind us. We're like, no, like that's not why we're here. We're here to win. And I think that is very special about us, because I think every great team needs an identity. And if we got to be the bad guys or the villains or whatever, then fuck it, let us be the bad guys. Like, as long as we're winning, I don't care.
Just knowing that every game that I show up to, we're just gonna show up and dominate. You know, if I was having a bad day, bad week, I know I can show up and, you know, turn a little bit of it around. Just go out there on the field and dominate, and that's what it's all about.
I mean, I always knew that we were going to be great. I just didn't know how good we could be. Especially this season, from the very first game, I mean, it was very clear that we were going to be a great team, that we were going to be the force to be reckoned with, but I did not expect us to go undefeated. And then we started just racking up the wins, and we hadn't lost yet, and I was like, oh shit, like, we might actually be able to do this thing. We might be able to get the other ship and go undefeated all in one season, which, that was pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be part of something like that.
The Cobras have always been good. The Cobras will always be good. So saying how good the Cobras were going to be was just a matter of time. It was just a matter of finding the right pieces and putting them in the right places. And obviously all the credit goes to Keedy for that. He's a mastermind behind the tactics back there, so.
Just from birth, you know, that moment we came together, I knew we were going to be champions. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
The minute I joined, I kind of knew what it was. I'm sorry. I couldn't get used to it. So I'm dumb as hell. The minute I joined, I mean, I kind of knew it was greatness from the start. I kind of knew what it was. You know, of course, when I really saw it around the time that I kind of took a step back from playing in the game and kind of started motivating and being a hype man, and I could really see how great, it's one thing to see how great you are in the field, but to watch it from a distance, you really see how great the team is. And I mean, man, it was amazing. So the minute I got involved, I kind of knew what it was, I'll be honest with you.
I say the exact moment I figured out how good we could be was our first game of the year, down by 1, and we had someone leave, Taylor at the time, and we're down a person because Quick and I think Preston were already not there. So we're 9 on 10, down by 1, first game of the year, and we end up winning that game 10-2, and we just really put it on them. And I was like, this team is like scary good. Like we did that with 9 people. I was like, I'm so excited for the rest of the season.
I think it was when the infield really came together. The cohesiveness between all the bases and the pitching mound, that was the turning point for us for sure.
When we mercy ruled the first game. I think it was my first game. Yeah, I think I may have actually missed the first game of the season, but I guess it was second game. Yeah, I think it was like 7-0 the first inning, and we were already dominating. And I was like, okay, this is gonna be fun.
It's really just the chemistry. It's really an immutable characteristic that we've got, but you know, I can't explain it, but as soon as you watch us play, you'll know.
I think everybody has it in them when they want to be very competitive, like they know what they can do in their role to affect that.
I think what makes the Kobras such a great team is that we pop bottles on everyone we crush.
What makes Kobras such a great team is that we don't have a flaw. And I say that confidently because the one that I see right now is something that we're going to fix before springtime, and it's going to be pretty easy to patch up. But I mean, you look at us and every single aspect of the game, from every base to every position to the lineup, and I mean, we have the most dynamic offense. Our defense is incredible and I think very underrated. We allowed 19 runs the entire year and put up 95. So I don't know anyone putting up anywhere near those numbers. We're great on both sides of the ball.
When it comes to the competitiveness of the games, it really comes down to trusting each other and having each other's backs. When a ref makes a bad call, the whole team gets behind them, even if they didn't see the play. We've become a unit, and the more we play together, the more we bring out the competitive nature in the less competitive people.
Honestly, I was thinking about this, and I think what makes the Kobras a great team is that like everybody knows their role. It's like, as much as like it's like I saw it as funny as like the way that Keedy was like leading the team at first. Like I thought that was funny, but we kind of actually need that. Like if you want to be competitive, you have to have somebody that's gonna like lead that, and like the fun parts of that, like with like popping champagne after the games and stuff, like that's hilarious, but it's also like makes the team fun. And then, I mean, you got to think about it, like some guys are able to kick it further than others, and some of the girls like just know their role in like getting on base and like bunting or like whatever it is. I think the team fits really well together because everybody knows the goal at the end of the day is to win.
Drink Hennessy, by the way, I'm sponsored. Say that one more time, sorry. The fact that you have so many heavy hitters on it, you know, I like to say it's just me, but you know, that'd be arrogant. Of course, you know, shout out to the captain, Keedy, he does his thing. You know, my boy Big Press is always gonna show up. Silly Willie is gonna come for the taking. My boy Coach, he's gonna do his thing. And the ladies too, they really did their job. Quick had some of the greatest kicks I've ever seen. It blew my mind. I haven't seen stuff like that since Vietnam, and I ain't even been to Vietnam. You know, Sky was doing great in defense and offense. I don't think I ever saw her get out. You know, Lane, Big Brown, her and them, they really did their thing too. So the whole team was just, it's stacked. I can't even name them all. I'm sorry if I missed you, but it was just greatness all around. It was too much.
A specific game from this season I'd like to go in detail about, probably be the 5th game of the year. Nothing went right for us at all. We had no reason to win. I mean, we're 4-0, it's the last game of the year. I mean, we're gonna be like one of the top seeds regardless. And we really didn't have a motivating part. We played not well, but we just still dug it out, even though nothing really went right for us and the other team was playing really well. We just found a way, and it got ugly, and we had to get down low for a lot of balls and just really gut it out. But we found a way, and I feel like that was just really instrumental of the way that we went going forward. We just found a way to get that out or to get that run. We just kept making that play going forward.
Man, there's been so many great games this season and just so many great moments.
I have to say when I think it was Will or Paul, somebody got caught out on base and they said that they were out and the defender was nowhere near the base. It was clear that they were safe and everybody was pissed. It was crazy. That really was kind of funny to me though, but we were already up, so it was all right.
I mean, well, these people out here aren't really professionals, and I mean, you got to hand it to them. They're out there doing their best, but the fact of the matter is I was safe, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because we still came out very dominant in that game. I don't know what the score was off the top of my head. I think we won, by about 20 runs, so at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, but that's just our style. One run doesn't matter. It's going to happen whether you like it or not.
Or the one story when I tried to, what did I do? I think I bunted, and then I tried to round first base when they threw to first base, and I avoided the first baseman, but they threw it, and it like bounced off a girl, off her hands, off the ground, and then hit me, and then I got out. And that was because I was being cocky and trying to get an inside the park homer.
Oh, another great game was Game 6. Game 6 was a solid game. We had 3 runners almost score back-to-back, but that one was a wild game to witness because we were just all guns were firing, and we love to see everybody in attack mode like that.
All right, yo, Kobras, huddle up. We the bad boys of this league. You see how they trying to do us? They trying to hoe us. But we gonna stay alive. We don't care. We're the away games, all right? Ain't no home games no more. Y'all remember one thing. You can't bring up football without Tom Brady. You can't bring up basketball without LeBron James. And you can't bring up kickball without the Kickin Cobras. You know what time it is.
I'd say almost all of our games could be my favorite.
I'll tell you my least favorite game this season was the one where I got hit in the face with the kickball. So we played them and their catcher was standing obnoxiously close to us when we would go up to kick. So she was like seriously pressed right up against us. they just kept being like, yo, can you back up? And she just like got closer. So that kind of set me off to start, which also, it's against the rules, but we asked the ref about it and he didn't know the rule book, so he didn't know that it was against the rules to impede on the kicker. And a ball comes towards me, it's a clear ball. I'm just sitting there waiting, it goes way back to the fence. She turns around, gets it, and throws it and hits me right in the side of my face.
Oh. So maybe take a couple steps back now, maybe because that happened.
Hey, COVID, bro. She can't be that close anyway. It's getting spicy.
Oh.
Some people say that she didn't mean to hit me. Some people say it looked like she meant to hit me. I don't know, I guess we'd have to ask her. But we did end up winning that game thanks to Taylor and the rest of our team who really just did what they could to beat them, which was very satisfying.
When Allison got hit in the head with a kickball, when they threw it in, she was ready to fight. I thought we were all about to jump in. It was pretty funny.
This just in, the Kobras win again. Following their 7-game win streak, the Kickin' Kobras made it to the semifinals where they beat Dolls and Balls decisively with a score of 14-3.
So my favorite game of the season, I'm going to say the semis, because it really just proved how much we deserved it. We were in the 4th inning with a 7-0 team, and we're 7-0 as well, and a team that wants it just as bad as we do. And we're in the 4th inning, down by 1, and Will gets called out on a bullshit dive at home call, but we responded to that by the next 2 innings, going 7-0, 7-0, and just hung 14 on them, and just did not look back the rest of the game. Where other teams could have folded and died and be like, oh, well, the refs are out to get us or whatever, but we just put on an absolute clinic the rest of that game. I think my best pitching performance was in a semis. I got 6 strikeouts, which is a career high for me. And I don't know anyone who's got 6.
That one game we had like a bunch of pop-ups that were like either in between me and B or just like at one of us, and B like dropped like 2 or 3 balls, but like they just like popped off his chest, like he was trying to take them in, and it just like popped up, and I was like right there to just caught it. Like that was one of my, at least like one of the favorite games, because that game, I think we actually were kind of close that game, maybe in the beginning.
I would say, obviously, the back-to-back catches that Matt got for me, catching them off my stomach like that. Those were crazy. Obviously, just catching any catch off of me is crazy in general, but back-to-back in the same game, that was pretty wild. I mean, it really goes to show just kind of how solid we had it down there at the end, and how well everybody played together, how good everybody communicated without even having to communicate that much at the end, and it's really fun to play with people like that.
The championship game was against Share the Wealth, a longtime rival of Kickin' Kobras. This was the second time they were matched up in a championship game. The Kobras beat them 9-0 in the Winter 2021 championship, but Share the Wealth came prepared with a new pitcher to give the Kobras a run for their money. But ultimately, the Kobras could not be stopped.
Favorite team to play against for sure, Share the Wealth. They are, I would like to call them a brother team. They are very competitive with us, and you know, they're fun. They're fun to play against. I love playing against him. Hope they love playing against us.
They have the passion for their team that we have for ours. And they were always a really tough team, but they were always a really fun team to play against.
I was like, first of all, they had Arthur back, they had Danny back, and I was like, all right, this is gonna be a battle. And a battle it was. We were up, we were down, we were up, we were down. And then we went up one more time.
The championship game started off rough. We were down 0-1 early. Things weren't clicking. And I took it upon myself to blast one over third base and get the offense started. And from there, everything came back together and we came back.
And so we're going into the last inning and they really put the pressure on us. And they end up loading the bases and it's 1 out and it's 6-5. It was a girl that was up to bat, and instead of bunting it like Danny thought she was gonna do, she ends up popping it up, so he takes off at third base.
Oh, the final out was, I hate to say it, but easy. It was, the situation wasn't that I needed to catch the ball to win the game. The catch was only the second out. The reason that we won the game on that play is because a player on their team left third base. So as the ball was falling towards me, I was trying to stay very quiet and just make sure I catch it and then get over to third. And I was really hoping that everyone on the team wouldn't start screaming, go to third, and give up the fact that that guy needed to run back to third base.
Paul knows he just has to go up and get it, and that's what he did. He went up and got it and then tagged third base, and next thing you know, we're champions.
Because, you know, that's what it's all for. That's what it's all about. You know, that's whole team's out there giving it their all. We got the dub, and that's all that matters.
Pretty wild. I mean, I don't think that it was necessarily a surprise though, because we really like dominated most of the season. It's like we kind of always thought that like we were most likely going to win the championship.
So I would say it's definitely exciting to see us win a championship like that. I'm sure it's exciting for everybody to see that. It's exciting to have, you know, the whole team light up as a unit right there at the end and see Paul make that double play. There's no way to end the game worse than that, to just say, you know, no more second chance or third chance. You only got the one, so it's pretty cool.
The championship is everything, you know? Like Kobe said, the job's not done. You can win a couple games, you can go undefeated 5 times, 4 times, whatever, but the championship game is where it matters. And it was a close game, I'm not gonna lie. They gave us a little bit of a run for our money. They put in some work, but at the end of the day, the Kobras always gonna strike first, you know?
Felt like it was over. When it happened, it was over. It was like we did it and it was already done.
But legends never die.
The Kickin' Kobras won the game with a double play made by third baseman Paul Heckler, making the final score 6-5, and the Kobras undefeated. I don't know about you, but I see another Kickin' Kobras win in their future.
You know, at the end of the day, we took home the dub every single time, and that's what we're out here to do. So
props, I think energy is a big part of it, so of course I'm gonna give myself some props. I'm gonna give Keedy some props too for staying diligent on the team, staying on people's head tops. And I'm gonna give props to the team itself, because at the end of the day, you know, they showed up when it was time to show up. We all made mistakes sometimes, but when it was time to play, they played. And that's the biggest difference I can see from last season to any other season.
I would like to give a special shout out to a few things that I feel like led us to that perfect season. People were able to put egos aside. Will, for example, came into the season a few games late. I put him in the 12 slot. He was okay with that. He didn't say a word about it. He just did his thing and ended up batting 785, I'm pretty sure. So like, you know, he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna shut up and do my thing, and that's exactly what he did. Didn't hear a word out of it, didn't hear any bitching. And another thing is Skylar at second base. I think that was a great adjustment to make. I feel like that really insulated our infield, and we were able to put the extra guy in one of the corners. And now that we have both corners sealed off, and obviously Quick doing her thing at catcher, and Allison and Lane filling in the center field, I feel like that is the best possible formation, because other teams don't have a luxury like a Skylar who can catch everything in the infield, or like a Morgan who can kick everyone out. And I feel like we're really maximizing our strengths at this point.
The main thing we can attribute to our undefeated season is probably just our willingness to never stop fighting. The no mercy, the strike hard, strike first, that whole mentality that we have every time we go out there. The whole Kickin Cobras dojo style. That's what gets us to the undefeated season. It's definitely the mentality when it comes to, you know, how hard we're gonna play when we go out there, and, you know, not giving up and not letting anybody get by us, no matter what the scenario is.
It's been really great being able to get so invested in this team, give it my all, and watch everybody else give it their all, and know that at the end of the day, we're gonna win.
Energy is everything to me. Anybody who knows me knows that I always tell people I'm a big energy guy. If you're, you know, when I was in middle school, we played basketball, my coach would get mad if your head was down. You know, you can't, because the things that you think about, you're basically manifesting, it's gonna happen. So, and hyping things up is very, very important. I take that job very seriously. I think of myself as like gasoline on the floor, and Keedy is like a lighter. And so all he has to do is give me the spark and I'm up. You know, I'm gonna get the shit started, I'm gonna burn the whole place down. And I think that shit's very important when it comes to the games. There's games where we were down for a little bit, and I could feel the energy dying, and I'd have to bring the energy up, and I could feel the change, the momentum shift. Momentum's a big thing in this game.
We've had a lot of faces on the team. People have come and gone, but I think the group that we've built now is here to stay. And picking up a person every single season and watching people stay and buy into this team has been very rewarding.
Well, we were already the best, so it's very nuanced the way that we've grown. It's just a chemistry thing.
Oh, I love playing with Preston. I don't know, it's just like every ball that goes anywhere in our vicinity, it's like I know what he's gonna do, and I just react accordingly, or like vice versa, like, and it's just a chemistry thing, and I love it. And the bunts, I know where he likes it, where he doesn't like it, and I can get it to him. And there's certain times it's not going to get to him in time before they get there, so he steps off the bag and catches it before they get there, and he was able to pin them out. And it's just, I love that 1-2. I feel like every great team needs those certain relationships.
All right, about making all the crazy catches, about trying hard, about being extra. You ask Keedy, because I want it more than everybody else out there. You ask him, it's a Dennis Rodman mentality. I was born with it, I was raised with it, and it's why I'm on this team, it's why I'm part of the brand. That's why. That's why I make the crazy catches. That's why I slide on my knees. That's why I dive on my belly. That's why I do all the crazy stuff, is because I'd do anything for the team. Simple as that. So.
I was convinced, and I don't know if I even told any of you guys, but I was like, I know that if I bunt one of these, like, I'm fast enough that I could get around the bases and score. Because, and it wasn't just because of like my ability or anything, it was just more so because the ball is so awkward that like when people throw it, especially like from first, like it ends up bouncing around people or whatever. So I guess my favorite was when I bunted, like, I don't know, I think I went to third base or something, and they threw it to first and they overthrew it. So I just kept going, and then they I don't know, they ended up just throwing around the bases, and I had to like keep dodging. But yeah, that was my favorite.
We've had a lot of people come and go. We've had a lot of great athletes play with us, and a lot of just great people that didn't know they were athletes play with us. So it's really been a treat to just kind of see everybody find their element and find out whether they are Cobra at heart. I mean, we've been through so much just to get this far, but who knew we wouldn't lose a game, right? Like, that's crazy. That's insane.
For some people, being on the team is about redemption from that original horrible team. But for me, it's all about camaraderie.
Man, what makes the Kobras so great is the people. It's us. It's all of us and what we do as a team and who we are as people and what we bring to the table every time we go out there.
I think just like being around all the people. I mean, the competition's fun, playing kickball is fun. I haven't played kickball since like elementary school, so that's fun. But no, like after the game, doing the champagne, like, you know, writing on the poster, like when we advanced, and then like afterward, like I didn't go out enough with you guys afterwards, but like going to celebrate and like just meeting everybody. And you guys are all like, have all been really close, and it's nice to be a part of something like that.
It's who we are as a team, who we are as people, coming out there with the energy that we do every time.
We're all a big family, a competitive, sometimes psychopathic, very extra family that puts winning and puts the team above all else at all costs.
My favorite part about being on the team is being with Kitty and Paul and Matt and all of you all in general. Just all of my day ones, all of my new ones, all of them. I love y'all. I love just coming out and hanging out with y'all. Like, that's really what it's about for me.
Future of the Kobras looks very bright. This is the only season ever in which I have not cut or recruited anyone for the next upcoming season. So I love who we have, and I'm very confident with who we have in the future. So I would say the future is as bright as it's ever been.
I think the future holds great things for the Kobras, but for me individually, I think it holds several more MVP trophies and a few more of these.
The future of the Kobras is more undefeated championships. That's it. I mean, it's just a more merciless slaughtering of just all of our other opponents, and it's really about just getting a whole nother undefeated championship under the belt.
So I love how our team has become like an identity, like an emblem or a brand, because we got our flag, we got our signs, we got our Instagram, which Allison runs so effectively. Like, those videos are incredible. And obviously we got our own t-shirts with the numbers on the back and the nicknames and all that. And I love it. I love everything about it. I think people on our team love it. I feel like that really makes the camaraderie even better. And it just makes us feel like more of a team.
First impression was that Kitty was super into it, which was so cool actually to have, like, because for me at least, like, I'm a very competitive person too, so like, you could tell like Kitty loved the team, like bringing the team together, like before the game, after the game and everything. And I was like, this is crazy, because I didn't really like even intend on getting like into that, but I was all for it. Like, it was fun.
I think the word that comes to mind when it comes to being captain of the team is just pride. I feel like there couldn't be any other word I could really use to describe this. I mean, every game we go out there and play, I'm like, damn, like we're really fucking good, and it's awesome watching everyone play, and just how ridiculously seriously we take it, and I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I love how competitive we are. I love how good we are. I love every minute being out there.
I mean, we just simply don't lose. That's the fact of it.
Having a whole team behind you on every single play and every single thing you do it's the people for sure, because without that you don't have that kind of energy, you don't have that kind of focus, and you don't have that kind of attack when it comes to a team strategy. So it's definitely the people.
This team was so special, and I think it was such a special opportunity to be part of this team. Everybody brought something specific to the table, and every single person contributed to every single win. It's never cut and dry like, oh, this person won us that game, because it's a whole team effort, and I love that about us. It takes the whole team to win the game, and it's taken the whole team to get us to the undefeated spot that we're in now.
I'm a champion because I'm a Cobra, so getting on that field is being a champion when I'm wearing this jersey or walking with my squad. So it doesn't matter if we do win the whole championship to me every time. It's just a matter of how hard we go out there and play every time.
Listen, we are kickball. You other niggas just play it. We live it. We breathe it. We bleed it. You want the smoke? We're a chimney. You want the fire? Shit, we're another chimney. We gonna keep going. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never gonna stop.
On three. One, two, three.
Kobras!
But legends never die.
Well, every morning of game day, I would start off with 2 cans of Campbell's chicken noodle soup. And by game time, I was ready to go. The rest of it was just showing off for my lady.
Well, kicking these bitches to the curb was all the practice I needed, and I carried that onto the field, and I think it's very apparent.
So, like I said, if you want to smoke with the big dogs, come to Lexington, Kentucky. We're calling out all challengers. ESPN, come find us, come sign us. We're taking deals. You know, you see I already got a couple sponsorships on me, but I don't see the ESPN one. I need that one too.
Oh, L's, no dubs. No dubs, no L's. What? You know the vibes. Let's get it. Come on. Fuck them kids on 3.
No.
1, 2, 3. Fuck them kids.
Get fucked, pussy.